Look, I do want to talk to our next guest. He's the chair of the Anti-Defamation Commission, Dr. Dvir Abramovich. Good afternoon.
Hi, Tom. Nice to be with you again.
Well, thank you for joining us. So, the Victorian government has done what you wanted it to do and banned public displays of the swastika. Interestingly, I just read in their press release that the government will continue to monitor the use of hate symbols and may consider the inclusion of additional symbols at a later stage. So, I know you support this ban. Would you support bans on other symbols like the Japanese flag or the hammer and sickle or something like that?
Well, the hallmark of a mature democracy is that you can have those discussions in the public square respectfully and meaningfully. But I just want to say, Tom, that today is really a day for the history books. It's a proud day for our democracy and for every Victorian. It's a big win. A democracy is not just about the rights that we have, it's also about what we're willing to tolerate. And today, the government and the opposition who supported this have sent a very clear message to the neo-Nazis. The law is no longer going to be on your side. We are going to fight back, and neo-Nazism, which didn't die in the bunker with Hitler, will never find a safe haven in Victoria. So this is a resounding victory for decency.
But some of the details worry me a bit. For example, when I was at university, there was a live performance of the musical Cabaret, which mocks the Nazis. And the posters, understandably had some of the characters in them, and they had swastika armbands on. Now, they were displayed publicly because if you go and do a performance of Cabaret, Nazis appear. Now, under this law, would we be banned from advertising a musical like Cabaret?
No, we wouldn't. And context is paramount here. And the government has made it clear that the use of the Nazi swastikas in education, in art and films will be exempt. So there will be appropriate exemptions when this particular symbol is used for educational purposes and for awareness. Let's not kid ourselves, Tom. It's the neo-Nazis and the white supremacists that have weaponized this particular symbol. And again, this is the modern face of Hitler. And at the moment, before the introduction of this bill, your neighbor, Tom, could have flown the Nazi flag across and you couldn't do anything. So I think we have to be very proud of what happened today. I think the values of democracy, equality and freedom are really ringing throughout the state. And our diggers who fought to defeat Hitler didn't sacrifice their lives, so we would have hardcore bigots being able to proudly and openly showcase the Nazi swastika.
Yeah, but most of our diggers actually fought the Japanese Empire. The rising sun flag that Japan used back then. Should we now have a chat about that? For example, my wife's uncle fought the Japanese on Kokoda, and he hated them till the day he died. Now, if you asked him, he probably would have chosen to ban the Japanese flag well before the German one.
Well, again, this is a discussion that we can have. It's a debate. But I think, Tom, that we have to go back and remind people what the Nazi swastika represents. It represents the shooting of 1 million unarmed Jewish civilians in 1941. It includes the gassing of nearly 3 million Jews in the death camps, the murder of 70,000 German citizens who were diagnosed with mental and physical disabilities. This is the ultimate emblem of evil. And I wouldn't want to live in a state that actually tolerated and allowed people to use this as a weapon for Holocaust survivors and for their children. Seeing the Nazi swastika is as bad as being threatened with a gun. And as I said before, I think today is a proud day for every Victorian. It's a triumphant moment, and we should celebrate. It's an important step, and it will be looked upon as a moral reckoning that this state had.
Thank you for your time. Dr. Dvir Abramovich, Chair of the Anti-Defamation Commission. See, I don't disagree with anything he's saying.